It's impossible with students here and our prospective students from high schools in Winnipeg here to say that education, just as a principle, is unimportant. But this is such a larger issue, and it affects everybody's lives, literally our lives. We are facing, and our general issue of recruitment and retention is something that shapes and allows us to survive. By training people like the nurses behind me, this is something that concerns people that will never be a student, that will never have a child at the University of Manitoba that they hope to keep in our province, that will never come into contact with our libraries, with our researchers. This is one of the ways in which we affect the lives of everyone in the province. Not just in great medical care, but in pharmaceutical research, which is one of our province's biggest industries. We affect everyone's lives, and recruitment and retention and the ability to have a first-class research university in Manitoba is vital to what we need. So I am really happy to see you here all today, because it is truly an issue that is vital to every Manitoban. Thanks so much, and thanks so much for the support of our nurses and for the curiosity of our students. Thank you so much.
Are there any students here today? Say hi to the students. Next up is Darlene Jackson, President of the Manitoba Nurses Union. Welcome, Darlene.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'd like to begin my address by thanking the University of Manitoba Faculty Association for the invitation to speak here today. My name is Darlene Jackson. I am the president of the Manitoba Nurses Union, which represents more than 12,000 nurses in Manitoba. I'm here today to stand shoulder to shoulder with the members of UMFA in their quest for a fair deal and negotiations that are free of government interference. We at MNU absolutely understand what UMFA is going through, because we went through something very similar over the past year. The draconian wage freeze, Bill 28, which we continue to fight alongside the MFL and the Partnership to Defend Public Service, has affected every labor negotiation going back to 2016. But let's stop and recognize that it's thanks to UMFA that we all learned what was happening in the back rooms of the Pallister government and became aware of their war on our province's unions. UMFA members, you have our full support, and not just as a fellow labor union. You have our full support because the health of our profession is closely tied to your future. Let me explain that a bit. The provincial directive set a goal of 400 new nursing seats across programs in Manitoba in order to carry out this directive. The U of M, for example, is looking at significant restructuring. As I have stated to the Free Press, this plan feels more like a mirage, because if the government actually wants to make a difference for the future, they would take substantive steps to make Manitoba a desirable place to live and work. We need to be able to provide our students with a quality education, and that means we need to ensure our nursing educators have a sustainable workload and fair working conditions, including wages. For years, we at MNU have been raising serious concerns about nursing vacancies, so the timing of that directive was belated and interesting, to say the least. We have remained in communication with your UMFA members of the College of Nursing, who are also our colleagues. They are well aware of how dire the situation is. Manitoba is in a critical nursing shortage that is growing. We currently have more than 2,200 vacancies and counting. If the Manitoba government, led by the Tories, wants to issue such directives, they should be taking into account the added resources required to make it happen. The focus needs to be on better recruitment and retention of staff. How can university administrators attract more teaching staff with the current conditions on campus? I know that you cannot build a nurse in a day, just like you cannot build a nursing educator in a day, both of which require skill, mentorship, and confidence. The Manitoba Nurses Union supports UMFA in their fight for fair wages. It took us over a year, but we did it, and I know UMFA can do it too. I'm here to echo that sentiment. There is hope. After a long year of negotiations, we finally got a collective agreement, and I am confident that UMFA will triumph. And we at MNU will be here to celebrate when you do. Thank you.
Thank you, Darlene.